Hey everybody, welcome to the Rhizocast. Today I'm looking at Caricature by Daniel Clowes. This is a collection of 9 stories. I think all of them are previously published in 8 Ball. And yeah, let's just hop into it. Daniel Clowes is one of those guys, a certain type of person likes him. I believe his biggest claim to fame is probably Ghost World. Yeah, 9 stories from the author of Ghost World, so this is probably after the movie came out and all that. Anyway, published by Fantagraphics. So I'm just going to be going over the first story here. It's a really beautiful look. It's tasteful. It could obviously go another way, but anyway, his art is amazing, of course. And here we are with this book called Caricature. It's a 39-year-old divorced with no kids. He's always been involved in art, and 6 years ago he started to get into caricaturing. And so basically he becomes a professional caricaturist doing the craft festival market, which anyone who's ever worked as a touring musician or touring artisan or anything knows it's kind of a lonely life. Like, you're theoretically doing what you love, but selling stuff is very little about creation of art. And here he's talking about when he's doing the caricatures, he's actually envisioning them naked or whatever. And it's just going through a day in the life or whatever. And this girl is fascinated by him, and her boyfriend's kind of a turd or whatever. And then she asks if she can hang out with him while he does more caricatures. And everything. And this is an interesting statement. 90% of artists are amateurs. You have to know what you're doing to make a living at it. Maybe reading about my life will help inspire somebody. Maybe not. So he's writing a how-to book about how to be a caricaturist. And one of the things that's interesting in this statement is, what is it that makes someone not an amateur? Is it that you're doing it for money, or the quality level you're doing it at? And also, this doesn't go into it, but to me, reading this, it also translates into what makes someone an artist versus what makes someone a hack. I was premature. The girl comes back the next day and just wants to sit there while he works and talks to him. She's hanging out while he's in this small town. And going to Denny's or whatever. And she reveals that her father is a semi-famous artist. And then he does a caricature drawing of somebody on a napkin, and this guy gets mad that he's drawing a picture of him. And then she kind of has transformed, in my eyes anyway, from, oh, here's this interesting artistic young person to here's a super entitled young person. The difference can be subtle. And then he's here he is pretending that caricatures should be taken as seriously as films and TV and everything, which, whatever. And then she's gonna sleep over, and he's trying to decide, I guess, whether he should do the deed or not, and trying to just figure out what he should do in life, and if the life that he's living is the life he wants. There's a cat on screen. Let me see if I can get this guy to move for you guys. It's like, it's easy to gloss over how amazing the art is. The panel design, it's the grid, it's simple, it's clean, it works. It kind of transmits how this guy's thinking process is too. And he's starting to draw some really not flattering caricatures, and it's not going over well. And then, it's just like he's realizing this is his life, this is his fate, and what do you want to do? And all the other stories are great also. I'd really suggest getting it. Here's some color work. Really, anything by Dan Clowes in general is worth checking out. But the reason I wanted to review that particular story is because part of me doing this channel, and the inspiration for doing it in this method, is, of course, the cartoonist kayfabe guys, Ed Piskor and Joe Mrugg. And when Ed Piskor killed himself, I had this... he killed himself on April 1st, so some people thought it might be a prank. And I was in the camp that I thought it might be a prank, where he was going to avoid the problems that he was in and reinvent himself. And my theory was that he was going to become a caricature artist doing birthday parties in, Nebraska or whatever, and while also supporting himself on the road and keeping completely off the grid by taking a backpack of $1,000 comics and occasionally stopping at a comic shop and unloading some for extra cash. Unfortunately, that was not the case, but I still like that story. Anyway, Dan Clowes, if you see it in a comic shop, you should go ahead and get it, just to support that comic shop being able to get good comics in. So many comic shops, they have to cater to their audience, which means a lot of superhero stuff or whatever. And so when they do take the risk to get some of these higher brow comics in, it's good for people to buy them and support them and encourage them to stock these other kinds of comics. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll talk to you guys later.